UDS. UDS. Please give us a wave. Let's know you are here. All right. Yes. Do we have CK Tedem? CK Tedem. Appleton, Apiaminka. KUSD. SD Dombo. Oh, okay. Let's give them a round of applause. KNUSD. Yes. University of Ghana. Okay. University of Education, Winneba. I would say our neighbors. I hear there are technical universities too. Do we have Takrady Technical University? Accra Technical University? Which one? Cape Coast Technical University. My own. Go Technical University. UMAT. Okay. Any other university I might have? UHAS. Unimac. Oh. Yeah. Unimac. Where are you? Give us a wave, Unimac. Okay. Concordia Technical University. Gempa. Gempa is also here. So many. GCTU. Okay. And okay, so many is UESD, right? Which one? Kumasi Technical University. We have UBIS. Okay. All right. ATU. Accra Technical University. We have your name here, means you are here. Can we see the rep from Accra Technical University? Okay, so maybe, yeah. All right. And the host, UCC, University of Competitive Choice. The #1 university in Ghana, #1 university in West Africa. Yeah.
Yes.
I should say it again.
Yes.
Okay, so just so you don't know, be informed that UCC, University of Competitive Choice, is the #1 university in Ghana, #1 university in West Africa, and number 7 in the whole of the African continent, according to Times Higher World University Ranking. Is it? Oh, no, we can't take it. That's why we left the
number 2, number 3.
Webometrics for Legon. Right. All right. So, venerable librarians and distinguished guests, once again, let me say good morning to all of us and warmly welcome all of us, even though we are in a very cold room. It is about the 40th meeting of the Committee of the University Librarians and Deputies, and we are here to have this 2-3 day event. It is expected that at the end of the day, we would make very meaningful impact out of every session we intend to roll out. On that note, I humbly and respectfully welcome all of us. My name is Chris Agri. You can call me friend of the mic. I will be your moderator for this amazing day. And I believe that with collaboration, we would all enjoy ourselves right here and now. Well, as typical of us as Ghanaians, we always start our events with prayers. And so, respectfully, let me invite Reverend Joseph Queno to lead us in an opening prayer. Please, a round of applause won't be bad.
Thank you very much. All right. So, thank you very much for this privilege. Let's sit and I'll pray. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for today, which happens to be the 26th day of the month of September. We say we are privileged to be alive to witness today. We're here with all the knowledge that we've acquired to install. We ask that your grace will be sufficient, because we know that anytime we lean on you, we are able to chalk successes. The other day in the book of Zechariah, chapter 4, the verse number 6, when Zerubbabel had exhausted all his strength and he had given up, you sent forth your angel to come and strengthen him, saying that not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. I ask that, Lord, the same grace will come upon all of us, especially the guest speakers. In the name of Jesus, I pray that you will give us good health throughout this program, so that when success is chalked, we'll not forget to give you all the glory and honor and adorations. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, a round of applause for him. I think he should have just added a song, and then we would have had complete crusade, right? We request for that. How generous. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one more time. This is the 40th meeting of the Committee of University Librarians and Deputies, and it is questioned the evolving role of academic librarians in knowledge dissemination and digital literacy. This is the age we all find ourselves now, and we ought to be abreast of the times. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce our chairperson for the occasion. And this man we are talking about is a full mathematician, a proud infantile boy. Well, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis is a full professor of mathematics education, and he is the current provost of the College of Education Studies here in the University of Cape Coast. His research interests are in sociocultural issues in mathematics teaching and learning of mathematics content and mathematics teacher education. He had his PhD in mathematics education from the Monash University, Melbourne, Australia. He holds a Master of Arts in mathematics education from the Hiroshima University from Japan. He graduated from UCC in 1999 with Bachelor of Education B.Ed in mathematics, and then in 2007 he was awarded Monash Graduate Scholarship from the Monash University in Australia. In 2011, this great gentleman we are talking about was awarded British Academy Visiting Scholar in Britain, and then he also served in 2018 as the Vice President of the Ghana Education Research Association. He was the leader of a team that developed the new Bachelor of Education National Curriculum for preparing teachers at the basic school level in Ghana and UCC affiliated colleges, College of Distance Education, UCC, and regular students on UCC campus. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Davis has served as a member on many professional bodies, including Ghana Mathematics Society, Mathematics Association of Ghana, World Education Research Association, and Southern African Association of Mathematics, Science, and Technology Education. In order not to, bore you with a long credentials, please let's invite our chairperson for this great occasion, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis. He is the chair for this 40th meeting of the Committee of Librarians and Deputies. Yes, I think it will be fine to be here.
All right. Thank you very much for your kind invitation. Your kind introduction. Your kind introduction. Sorry about that. The registrar, distinguished guest speakers, deans, directors here present, then distinguished guests, members of the Committee of University Librarians and their deputies, library staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. The Vice Chancellor was supposed to have been here to chair this important meeting, but he was unable to do so because of equally very important engagement. So he has asked me to stand in for him this morning. He sends his warm felicitations to all of us. So I will read this speech on his behalf. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as your special guest of honor for this important meeting. I extend a warm welcome to all of you and deeply appreciate your commitment to advancing knowledge through teaching and research in Ghanaian universities. I am inspired by the choice of your team, the evolving role of academic librarians in knowledge dissemination and digital literacy. There could not be a more fitting team considering the well-known transformational changes in the higher education landscape. The significance and role of the Committee of University Librarians and Deputies, called in this evolving educational environment, cannot be overstated. The committee plays a vital role in fostering collaboration among university librarians across the nation, facilitating the exchange of ideas, resources, and best practices that enhance the ability of staff to serve Ghanaian universities effectively. University librarians have always been at the heart of knowledge dissemination. You are the architect of information access, ensuring that students, researchers, and faculty can navigate the vast and rich array of resources available to them. Your expertise in information literacy empowers users to critically evaluate sources, embrace digital tools, and engage in meaningful research As the gatekeepers of knowledge, you contribute to formation of informed citizens, capable of thriving in an increasingly complex world. However, the evolving landscape of academia presents several challenges that we must address collectively. Among these challenges are digital literacy, one. In today's fast-paced digital environment, equipping members of university communities with the skills to navigate online resources is essential. As librarians, you play a crucial role in teaching digital literacy, enabling users to critically assess information and use it effectively. 2. Equity of access. The disparity in access to information remains a significant challenge. Called, I hope Could must advocate for policies and practices that ensure equitable access to resources for all members of Ghanaian university communities, especially those who may be underserved. 3. Technological advancement. With the rapid evolution of technology, university librarians and their staff must continuously adapt to new services and resources. Embracing tools such as data analytics, artificial intelligence, and digital repositories will enhance your ability to meet the needs of your users effectively. 4. And the last point, collaboration and community engagement. Fostering partnerships within Ghanaian universities and with external institutions can amplify the impact of resource sharing. As academic librarians, your engagement with various stakeholders is crucial to creating inclusive learning environment that supports lifelong learning. During this meeting, I encourage each of you to engage in open dialogue, share your experiences, and collaboratively seek solutions to the challenges that could face us. Your collective expertise is invaluable, and I'm confident that the discussions and deliberations will yield innovative strategies that will enhance your roles as academic librarians. As we embark on this journey together, let us remember that our mission transcends individual institutions. We are united in our commitment to the dissemination of knowledge and the promotion of digital literacy. Together, we can forge a future where our libraries serve as dynamic centers of learning, innovation, and community engagement. In closing, I wish you a fruitful and productive meeting. May your discussions be enriching. May your collaborations inspiring and your outcomes impactful. Thank you for your dedication to the information profession and for your unwavering commitment to the advancement of knowledge in Ghanaian universities. Once again, welcome to University of Cape Coast. I have now the singular honor to declare the COOD 40th meeting duly opened. Thank you.
I thought the applause will be bigger than this. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Professor Chairman. At this juncture, let me introduce to us some few distinguished guests that are with us. First will be the Acting Registrar of the University of Cape Coast, Mr. Ebenezer Agri, who is here with us. Has great day. Thank you, sir, for your presence. And then we also have Professor David Taidoku, Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy, here with us. Sir, thank you. We also have Professor Kwabena Safo Kantanka. He is the Dean for Faculty of Art, but here today as the Chairman of the Library Committee. Yes. And we also have a rep from DAPCA, Dr. Justice Mensah. He's also here with us. Thank you for making time to join us. And then last but not the least, Dr. Mark-Anthony Kobler. He is the chief librarian here, and he would welcome us officially to his premises. A round of applause for him, please.
Good morning, everyone. You. Yeah. So, Professor Chia, my very good senior brother, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis, Dean of Faculty of Arts, and our very supportive Chair of the Library Committee, Professor Safo Kantanka. Does that name rings a bell? Director of Drake, rep of the director of DAPCA, and if you know, we have a relationship. Drake, DAPCA, and Sam Jones Library, we are in the same this thing. All the protocols duly observed. And distinguished guests, fellow librarians, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to welcome you to the 40th meeting of the Committee of University Librarians and their deputies, COOD, at Sam Jones Library, University of Cape Coast. On behalf of the library management, the library committee, and the local organizing committee, and the dedicated staff of this wonderful institution, I extend warm greetings to each and every one of you to the University of Competitive Choice, the best university in the country. I thought we'll have an honor. Don't be jealous. The best university in Ghana by every standard. We are winning more of the awards. As we gather today to focus on the theme, the evolving role of academic librarians in knowledge dissemination and digital literacy, we acknowledge the transformative landscape of information access and dissemination. The rapid advancement in technology and the digital age have not only changed how knowledge is created and shared, but they have also redefined our roles as academic librarians. In a world overflowing with information, our primary responsibility remains to ensure that knowledge is not only accessible, but also effectively communicated. We are the navigators in this vast sea of data, guiding our faculty and students, researchers, toward the right resources to advance teaching, learning, and research. We also provide them with the literacy skills that will enable them evaluate information and use information ethically. As academic librarians, we must continuously evolve, adapting to new technologies and acquiring relevant skill sets. In recent times, the role of academic librarians have extended beyond traditional cataloging and reference services. We are now an integral part of the curriculum development, collaborating with faculty to design information literacy programs that enhances learning outcomes. We curate collections that reflect diverse perspectives and provide equitable access to knowledge, fostering an inclusive academic environment. Indeed, we are at the center of digital scholarly publishing. The 40th meeting gives us the opportunity to share our experiences, discuss best practices, and explore innovative strategies that will strengthen our contribution to knowledge dissemination and digital literacy. I encourage each one of you to engage actively in our discussions, share your insights, and collaborate in sharing the future of our profession. As we embark on this journey together, let us remember that our mission is not only to serve as custodians of knowledge, but also to advocate for its effective use. Together, we can ensure that our libraries continue to be vibrant hubs of learning, critical thinking, and innovation. Before I finally welcome you, for those of you who are struggling to know this organization, it has been in existence for many, many years. COOD is the mouthpiece of the academic librarians. And if you like, it's the counter part of VCG Ghana. So we also think that we play a very critical role in the university system. and we wanted to ensure standardization of our services, our resources. So this committee was formed by our forefathers, and it has been existing for many, many years, and it has served as a mouthpiece of librarians. What we have done in recent time, unlike the BC Ghana, we have opened our doors to the technical universities, because we think they are also public universities, to join us. So at the last meeting that was held at UHAS, we admitted the technical university into our committee. So at this meeting, they are duly represented. So let me see by hand those of you for technical universities. I think Ho is there, Kofoda is there, Kumasi is there. So you are welcome to our fraternity. We work for the interests of our professionals. We work for the interests of our libraries. And we ensure that we are effective in what we do. And we meet annually, as we are doing now, to deliberate on emerging issues in our profession and take positions that will endure to the benefit of our students and our faculty. So COOD is an old organization. We went, as COVID came, for 3 years, we were not functioning as any other organization. But last year we came back, we are back. We have resurrected, and we are even more effective than before. I would like to thank the University of Cape Coast for accepting to host this program. We appreciate your support for us to hold this program. We were elected as the National Secretary of COOD at Ho last year, and we are holding the office as National Executive for 2 years. So we have to host them this year, next year. And I'm happy my bosses, registrar, provost, and all the library committee are here that they have agreed that we should host you. And thank you also for coming your numbers to represent your various institutions. Once again, welcome to the Sam Jonah Library, University of Cape Coast, and to this important gathering. Let us make the most of our time together as we learn from one another and inspire each other to embrace the evolving role of academic librarians in this digital age. Enjoy the hospitality of Cape Coast, University of Cape Coast, and Sam Jonah Library, Akwaba. Thank you.
Indeed, Akwaba to all of us. On this note, we shall take a musical interlude by our sister Vida Mensah.
Good morning. Just want to suit your hearts with this piece as you prepare your hearts for the speaker. Just how close I walk with thee. Granted, Jesus, that's my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus keeps me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee. So just how close I walk with thee. Grant Jesus, that's my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Through this world of toil and snare, if I falter, Lord, who cares? Now with me my burden said, none but thee, dear Lord, none but thee. So just a closer walk with thee. Grant it, Jesus, that's my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Just a closer walk with thee. Grant it, Jesus, that's our plea. And daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
Wow. Very calm and solid. Very well. I think, Registrar, respectfully, I see somebody who resembles you. The resemblance is so irresistible. You said it, so I'm not alone. So, respectfully, sir.
Let me handle that.
Okay, sir.
So, yes, your guess is right. And the registrar's younger brother is here. And the registrar's younger brother happened to be my mate at the library school, Mr. Samuel Agri. I don't know why he carried that gray hair more than his brother. I think he's older than the brother. And the interesting thing is that at the same time they were appointed acting. While the brother was taking the acting capacity as the registrar here, he was also appointed acting librarian for University of Ghana. Wow. So they are brothers, one mother, one father. Thank you. Go and cut your gray hair. And they are also Vanda. Female, they are all my females. So thank you. Thank you for
oh, okay. Yes. So the spirit of discernment is at work. That is fine. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to take our first speaker to talk to us. And he is going to talk to us about developing user-centered information dissemination strategies in academic libraries. And he is coming from the University of Ghana. Sorry, University of Professional Studies. A very fine gentleman with a very long credential. Respectfully, sir, save me to cut it short as we invite Dr. Edwin Ayuno to talk to us on developing user-centered information dissemination strategies in academic libraries. Please, a bigger round of applause for our first speaker.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the music. I almost prophesied if she was going to sing the other verse of the song. Pro Vice Chancellor, a UCC librarian, yes. Members of the committee, senior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again, and thank you for the opportunity. It's always exciting to come to Cape Coast. Thank you. So I was saying that it's always exciting to come to Cape Coast, particularly UCC. I don't know why I went to KNUST. Probably I should have been here. This place is really cool. Yes, I got here early in the morning and I like the environment. If you live in Accra, and particularly where I live, probably you understand why I'm saying that. So thank you for the opportunity to do this presentation, to share my thoughts out of experience. I will usually describe myself as an information scientist, so that, you know, the profession has about 3 dimensions: the library or the academic knowledge management dimension, the professional, the corporate, where these days we like to use fanciful words. We don't want to say archives and records, so we say corporate information management, the same thing. Okay. And then, of course, the IT management. So I almost do all because of the roles I play. And on that basis, I'll be able to share some few thoughts on user-centered information dissemination strategies in academic libraries. I subtitled this the role of faculty and subject expert librarianship in the post-COVID era, because we learned a lot of things during the COVID, on the heat of, I understand COVID is still with us, so let me say in the heat of the COVID-19 pandemic, we learned new things. Probably there were things we knew, but we had opportunity to implement them. So I will be, in terms of strategy, I will be focusing on what faculty librarianship should be about. I mentioned somewhere that we must move away from university librarianship to faculty librarianship, I nearly got beaten. I said what I said meant I wasn't saying we don't need university library because it's a position, it's an administrative position or a professional position. But the function of university librarianship should be tuning or moving towards faculty librarianship, and I'll be making the justification for that. I come from UPSA. We are basically a business university, so sometimes we like to look at things from the business sense. When we say user-centered service or information service, what do we mean? One thing comes to mind: best user experience. I sit in some meetings and I tell my colleagues that when level 100 comes to campus, let them never forget their first day on campus, because I still have not forgotten my first day on KNUST campus, and that should be the best user experience. That's my simple definition of when we say user-centered information service. That's best user experience. And how do we achieve that in this era? That's what I'll be sharing my thoughts on. What is today's, or who is today's academic library users? Who are the users? For us to provide them or give them the best user experience, let's see who the users are. Okay. Of course, we say faculty, students, but let's describe them well. The current users, and I'll be focusing probably more on students. Okay. They have access to multiple sources of information. Some time ago, we had single source of information. It probably will be the library and only textbook. Even in my days in the university, we had lecturers who were kind. They would even tell us the pages from the textbooks or specific books that we were supposed to read. It's almost no longer like that, because there are multiple sources of information, and something happened during COVID, and now one of the emergent issues I'll be talking about. Because of the multiple sources, users have high recall when there is request or when there's retrieval. High recall. I'm sure those of you who sat in Professor Kisiedu's class, you remember information retrieval system where we talk about recall and precision. Okay, high recall because there are multiple sources. We did a study at UPSA looking at what technologies our students were using or are using for social media. We realized everybody was moving away from WhatsApp. That's what the data gave us. We thought the students use WhatsApp because we actually made it a policy that every class must have a WhatsApp group. And the students were on Snapchat. Why? Because of AI. Because Snapchat was first to introduce AI. If you observe, some few months ago, WhatsApp also introduced the AI. Facebook has introduced the AI. So if we do not understand these things, we will not be able to give them the best academic library or information dissemination experience that we expect. So these sources give them high recall, but precision is very low. Precision, relevant information over retrieved information, very low. So the students get confused, the users get confused. You give them assignments, they do a search from wherever, from their phones, from wherever, sometimes even unsolicited. If you have Copilot, okay, on Microsoft. Copilot in the morning gives me news items I have not asked for, unsolicited information, because some time ago I searched for something. Okay, so that's the experience of our current users. Then they frequently use the library, but not for the traditional purpose. What do they use the library for? They are coming to make photocopies. I don't know if you provide free photocopy services. So you see a lot of students entering the library. They are actually not going to use the library that we've spent a lot of resources to stock, but they are just going to do photocopies, and in many cases, they are using the libraries as reading rooms. When we took user studies, we asked the student, what do you do in the library? They are using the library as reading rooms. It's not fair at all. It's not fair. See what it costs to train or for somebody to be promoted from one rank in the library levels, from one rank to another. See what it takes somebody to become a deputy librarian or a senior library officer and those ranks. And then all the students do is come and read. So this is how the current user looks like. Then they rarely may use your catalogs or your database. I don't know, where are the catalogs these days? We will say that, oh, we have computerized them. Good, they are on database, they are online. But are students using them? That's what we need to know. Then, as for the traditional materials, they don't. There is something that happened to us probably before COVID or in the last decade, but we did not pay attention to. All our students became self-directed learners. So for me, I say every student, whether you are in the hostel or you are in the halls of residence, you are practically a distance student, even though you are not on a distance program. Because the way my generation and the generation before myself, and probably those who came a few generations, the instructive process has changed. And the environment has also changed. In fact, the instructive process is heavily influenced by the environment. Okay. So, for example, we had lecturers who would tell you, who give you your reading list. And if you use the reading list alone, you were covered. If you use the reading list and pass questions, you were covered. But it doesn't happen like that. So we have changed the environment. Some by our own doing, others from external factors. So our students have become self-directed learners. And on that basis, every student for me is a distance student. So if we do not apply service to distance students, you realize that we are not actually serving the students, or we are not serving our users the way. And this even applies to faculty as well. It applies to faculty members as well. Some time ago, if you did citations for your publications, etc., in which database were you going to reference to see these are the most authoritative, or you were limited to only what the library had? But now it's not like that. Even before you publish, we know, I don't know if you have been receiving this note, you just give, so assuming this slide ends somewhere, the next day I have a journal telling me, we've seen your title, we like it, bring the article. So even before you write, it's already out there. So that is the nature of our users these days. And if you do not understand it, we will not be able to apply strategies to create a user-centered information dissemination, or I'll simply say information service. Okay. What are the strategies? I said that the strategies already exist. And for many of us who understand it, information seeking behavior models by Wilson and Co. They have provided the strategy. You find it, even though there are some limitations. And then the principles of user-centered service. In fact, I've taken some of these principles from marketing, the business environment. If you went through user studies models, you realize that it's almost the same principle. How do you attract people? How do you get traffic to your site? But I say that if we want to find the strategy from experience and from what is happening, then we have to redefine the functions of faculty and subject expert librarianship. Okay, so emphasis on librarianship, not so that when we say this person is a faculty librarian, that person cannot be more important than the university librarian. It's not about the positions or the rank, it's about the function. So the emphasis on the function. Okay. A list of resources. I'll share this slides with you so that you can look at the resources. Okay. 1981, Thomas Wilson brought the ISB, that's the Information Seeking Behavior Model, and a number of them, some modifications, etc., extensions, various research, all the way to 2019, you find some of this model. But what does the ISB talks about? It says to build a dissemination strategy, you need to understand these things. Talk about cognition of a need. So when I enter, the first question I ask is, where is your user? Where's your client service? Client service, who is in charge of client service? What kind of information do you take from the users? Do you have accurate, to the extent that even the frequency of particular materials, we should be able to have that data. It's very important for planning. So when students come to the lab, when users come to the lab, what materials are they using? Can you tell who and who used that material and why? It's only through user studies, that's how we can identify this. So recognition of need, definition of the need, exploration of the information environment, very important. Formulation of search strategy, execution of search strategy, evaluation of the search and results. Okay, so Wilson gave us this as the steps through which a person arrives at information or arrives at a source, information that is needed for anything, etc. There are some gaps. I think I'll mention a few of them. So Wilson talks about the sources, two sources, formal sources and informal sources. I say that we no longer have formal sources and informal sources. We now have mixed sources. So if you use AI, AI can give you both. Previously, we knew where to find formal sources until the generation of search engines, when we're using Alta Vista, Wikipedia, Google, we still could tell the difference between formal and informal. Now it's difficult to tell. So we have mixed sources. These things, of course, this work was done in 1981, modified in 2000 up to 2003. Professor Bedu was one of the people who were trained by Wilson, Thomas Wilson in Sheffield, one of the renowned information science universities in the world. Okay, so the concept is to determine information need, determine information environment, then you can develop a search strategy. Okay, the implication, then you are able to create user-centeredness approach because you understand the environment, you understand the needs, and you also understand how people search for information. The implication is you have user-centered approach, dynamic and iterative process, and the importance for evaluation. The limitation is linear, it's very hierarchical. It's very hierarchical. If you apply that today, it will not work. It will not work. There is a need, there is this, etc. These days, like I said, the AI, if you have AI on you, they are giving you the information already. You have not asked for the information, so it's no longer hierarchical. Then there is an overemphasis on individual behavior. Of course, that is good to say that, but there are also group dynamics. If you have level 100 accounting student or level 100 biology student, they may have similar needs, and it will be difficult, it's expensive to treat them, but this model focuses on more of emphasis on individual behaviors and not group behaviors. Okay, I can skip some of these things. So the principles, like I said, some of these have come from service marketing. Some of these principles have come from service marketing. Is there a course in marketing of information services? Yes, yes. So you find some of these principles there. In fact, marketing of information services comes from service marketing. The main subject area is service marketing. So you find understand, they say understand your customer, understand your user. Then apply design thinking or system thinking approach. Okay. Then co-create means involve the person in his own need. So you co-create the product. If it's market, you say you co-create the product, or you co-create the requirement or how the person will apply the search strategy. Then customization, accessibility, and continuous improvement. Okay, so you have to do this over and over again till somebody masters, somebody or your users are able to master this. Unfortunately, our students or people got very poor impression about the work of librarianship from the secondary school. Okay, so when they come, you have to take them through this process to change their side. That's why we organize orientation. By usually the orientation, we take them around to show them where what is, and then we may never see them again until, if you are lucky, they come back to do masters. So you have graduate students. It's as if they don't know anything about the library. If you can, you can associate with that, as if they don't know anything. And if they do courses that are very structured, they may never use the library. So, for example, you may have an MBA accounting student. That person may never use the library. There's no motivation. I'm sure you can associate with. There are some group of graduate students. Their program is so structured, case study based program. So they have all the resources. Sometimes the way we package the content for students, they may never use the library at all. So they are using limited information. Okay. So we apply these principles as well. Then how can we achieve this? Conduct survey, analyze user data. I've mentioned an example. For example, who are assessing what time, for what purpose, etc. Then dissemination framework. I'm rushing over this because I guess at your level you are familiar with some of these things, so that I can get to my main where I think we can redefine or we can make more input, develop content, evaluate, and so we apply these principles or we follow these steps to create user-centered services. Okay. So apart from the strategies inherent in theory, like the models by Wilson and co, and also the frameworks or the principles that we can find from the customer service and or the user service environment, I think if we redefine the functions or the role of faculty and subject expert librarianship, we will be effectively disseminating information or providing effective information services to our users. And let's see some of the things that we expect from. I'm sure you agree with me that the faculty librarian and the subject expert librarian are not necessarily the same. They are not the subject expert librarian, to the extent that that person should be an expert or must have subject knowledge in the discipline. That at least must have some level of subject knowledge in the discipline. I have seen examples in Stellenbosch University, where we did a work tour. So we asked they had faculty librarians for not just the faculty, but the faculty librarian. It was just a title, but they were looking at subject areas. So they can have faculty librarians for, say, the applied sciences, okay, or the basic sciences, or the social sciences, or for law. But that person is not a lawyer. But that person has worked closely with the materials over recently. When we went through re-accreditation of our law program, I think that person will have some kind of information, or probably has been to a university where they had faculty librarians who were lawyers or who had at least LLB. And they were asking, why is it that the faculty or the person attached to the law school didn't have an LLB? They nearly raised some issues, but fortunately I got and said, no, a faculty librarian does not necessarily need to be a discipline expert. That person can be trained over a period to become, but I believe that we'll also be, at some point, we'll be heading to subject expert librarianship. But it is enough to retrain or equip people to become faculty, and that's what Stellenbosch University does. They take people, they understudy, they work with they are even part of curriculum development process. So they understand the information requirements, and for that matter, they are able to serve the faculty. I'll be mentioning a few of these examples at the tail end. So the faculty librarians will support research in the faculty or in the discipline area. Teaching and instruction, collection development, some of these we're already familiar. Reference and consultation. Let me give an example of consultation. So when I started my doctoral work, I was writing a lot of things, and one day my supervisor asked me a very simple: have you visited the departmental library? And I said no. He said you must book an appointment. Doc, I'm sure you know him, Madam Lazy, at the Department of Information Science Library. And when I had about 45 minutes, I was served with tea, biscuits. We nearly went for lunch. It was a good experience. But when I left, a lot of things changed about my work. A lot of things changed about my work because she was able to tell me, give me a lot of the topic area. She helped me, broke down my topic to all the components and identified this material will be useful for this, this material will be useful for this. And I was so grateful to say, no, because you have come here, I've also gotten new information about what you are investigating. And I'll be looking for materials for subsequent consultation. That she was rather grateful to me. So consultation helped. The question I asked is, when was the last time a librarian in our various institutions got a visit by an MPhil or a PhD student to discuss the person's topic? Sometimes we think it is not part of our. That's why I say we should be moving away from university librarianship to faculty librarian. You must have a schedule. All those who are writing various topics, interact with them. Interact with them, because it is actually an input for our stock. Otherwise, we'll be misfiring as to what kind of materials we are acquiring. And if we do not have a very clear collection development policy, acquisitions policy, acquisition sometimes may be subjective. Somebody alone in the faculty wants that material for sometimes parochial interests, not really the larger interest. So these consultation sessions can help. And then partnership and collaborations, of course, partnering with various faculty members, HODs, deans, researchers in the department, who the new areas, etc. It helps. And community engagement, university community engagement, digital scholarship. I'll raise one or two issues on here. Then mentoring and training. Yes, mentoring and training. So if you have a person assigned to a college, if you can, add 2 other younger persons to be trained so that we don't have a vacuum in that area. Okay. User-centered faculty librarianship, some qualities or some expectations. So first of all, the person must be a learning librarian. Because you may know, maybe you are 50 years old and you are appointed, you became next to deputy librarian, and then they converted you into a faculty librarian of probably a new college or a new program area, maybe law. We don't want you to go and hustle at Mokola to become a lawyer, but you must be a learning person. You must be a learning person. Deep understanding of generative AI, not all kinds of AI. Focus on generative AI. I'll talk about that later. Okay. So for a learning librarian, you should have interest in course development and management. I'm happy ProVC is here. ProVC, please, when you are developing curriculum, invite people from the library to sit in. UPSA, we do something we call pre-semester conference, and it's done on departmental level. So the pre-semester conference, every lecturer will project his course outline. We'll start from the course description, we'll go to the learning outcomes, we'll go to the objectives, we'll go to the content, we'll come to references. So all the lecturers in the department, they are aware of what you are teaching. So I see a topic. There's a lot of duplications in the system. I see a topic, say, why are you treating this topic? Okay, then treat the part 1. I would treat the part 2. It is possible for one program, you wouldn't know what your colleagues are teaching if you are not curious enough. So the pre-semester conference helps all the members in the faculty to know what their colleagues are doing. And then we do a lot, and in that meeting, the faculty librarian should be there. This is how it helps us. When we are submitting documents for accreditation, sometimes we don't have to relook. We just give it to quality assurance to ensure compliance. Because if we did that every semester, we are sure that the document is up to date. So we don't set up committee to go and review, because we do it at the beginning of every semester. But the essence of that is if you have the faculty librarian involved, the person can even preempt what kind of assignments that will be given to the students. So the faculty librarian prepares to receive students. So a faculty librarian must be interested in course development and course management. Class assignments. Our course outline, you have to indicate areas of class assignment, not the specific assessment item or the question item, but the areas. So if the faculty librarian is in that meeting, that person gets information as to what he or she expects students or users to. Then, of course, list of topics. Every faculty librarian must have list of all case studies, project works, dissertation, and thesis titles. Before even you start, what it means is that you must sit in the defense or the vivers, you must sit in those sections. Because they are those you are providing the information for. It looks like there is some kind of disjoint between academic information provision, and the users or those who have the needs. It seems there's that kind of disjoint. You have to sit, you have to know all the titles. So the next time a student comes to with a closed area, you tell that person there's a PhD student who is doing a similar work. That will help you. The other faculty member may not even have that information. Remember, you are providing information services. And that's where your policy should be driving. You are providing information services. Then continuous engagement with users. I've given such an example already. Then deep understanding of instructional design processes. Yes. I take this as very important. Why? My premise is that every student naturally has become a distant student. So if you are providing information to that student and you don't have any knowledge in instructional processes, what sometimes you say pedagogical approaches or andragogical approaches, if you do not have insights, I'm not saying be an expert, if you do not have insight, it will be difficult for you to assist your student. And how do you, so a learning librarian, if you are part of the process, you will understand. UPSA in 2000, when we are still hustling. People think we have money, but we are yet to have the money. We are still hustling. Around 2009, 10 thereabouts, assistant registrars were writing course descriptions because we didn't have enough people. So we used to bring Professor Eche here and other professors from different universities, and that meeting, and assistant registrars, you have to be there. In fact, we had assistant registrars who had masters, MA, MBAs, MPhils, who were supervising students because we didn't have enough lecturers. So the faculty officers were part of the process. So the question is, why can't the librarian or those in the library setup who are even supposed to be faculty members, isn't it? Who are supposed to be academics, okay? Who by definition are supposed to be academic staff and not administrative staff. I don't know what structure you run in your university, but traditionally, those in the main libraries are considered as academic staff and not administrative administrative staff. Okay. So I'll give an example of what you need to understand when we talk about deep understanding of instructional process. And a place like UCC, you have all the experts in that area. You can just organize one training workshop for instructional design processes for librarians. So you understand how we develop, you understand what goes into teaching, you understand what goes into assessment. If you know that, you get the indicators for how to get information. Last year we had what we call the AI conference, and we reviewed about 100+ AI tools available online that our students use, because we want the intention, we have to be where our students are. Okay. And we identify about 16 distinct functionalities of available AI tools on the internet or apps, mobile apps, etc. that our students. And I believe if we are shifting into faculty librarianship, we need to know about these tools. Very important. So there are AI tools that can generate text, articles, etc. As to whether the source of the generation is authoritative. That is why you have to be there, so that you can assist them. As to whether the source is authoritative. Idea generators, literature review. The AI tools that you can use for the literature review. But for time, I would have shown an example. You just give a page or a 10-page document, say do a review. I'm looking for this subject, that subject, and it will write that for you perfectly. And a faculty librarian should be able to know how to use these tools. Yes. Then content analysis, not just the literature, it can do content analysis. Then chatbots. I've seen some. There. I don't know if you have this on your library site. Ask a librarian. Yes. Ask a librarian. That's a very important tool. So that those who don't want to come to the library, they can use those tools. Okay. So you can do the same thing using an AI, and the AI will chat with you, have a conversation. These days, when I'm listening to Ghanaians, we like politics. When I'm listening to political discussion, I use one of these chatbots. If somebody says something, I say, give me the inflation rate between 2000, and it will give me the year and list all with the sources. Yes. It makes life easy. Then rewriters are dangerous. That's the one they use to paraphrase or re-paragraph what has been written, so that if you run a similarity platform, it will not find anything. So now we have what we call humanization of AI content. It will humanize the content. It will look as if somebody generated it. Then we have grammar and spell checkers. I like these tools because these days, when you write reports, you don't have to worry yourself about the grammar. Just write and throw it into the AI. It will do all those corrections for you. Of course, propose. You can decide to accept or not. It's not the same as Microsoft Grammar Check that highlights a few things change. That one can rewrite your own language. A time will come, language is personal. You should be able to read and know that this one, I know it's Eddie who wrote it. Or this one, I know it's Evans who wrote it. If we use this, it takes away that human aspect. Of course, you can instruct it to do better. Then for those with special needs, text to speech, speech to text, audio to text, there are AI tools, available AI tools that can do that. And it's very important. So, Doc, please, do you have the Braille session? Yes, you have the Braille. Yes. So there are tools that can do that. That can convert from the Braille to, and these are, or from text to Braille or audio to Braille, whatever. Then video and audio transcription. So you don't want to, even Facebook these days, YouTube does that. You are watching the video with no subtitles, and if you activate the subtitles, so you may not need to listen. You can just read. Then image generators. My slides have some image generators. So when you see some, don't ask me where I got the pictures from. I use image generators. Then of course, slide presentation, where you put your whole text and then the slide is generated. If you're a faculty librarian, you will be able to understand. Then plagiarism checkers, thematic analysis and classification. Yes, it can do a whole quantitative analysis. So In vivo is in trouble because there are free AI tools that can do that. Then code generators, of course, for those in application development, IT programming, etc. In addition to this, I called it the 7 L's of learning. You see, because our students, like I said, naturally, they've become distance students. The emphasis should be on learning and not what? Teaching. The emphasis should be on learning. And if we want to focus on learning, there are a few things we need to, and I'll not be able to give examples of all this because it's a whole course that we give to our newly recruited lecturers. You have to take this course. It's about 3 weeks online. You take it online. Okay. So what are learning theories? You need to be there because those are the theories that inform the teaching directions, that underpins the teaching style of the faculty members. And it's very important you understand. We talk about constructivist learning theory, humanist learning theory, cognitive learning theory, and behaviorism. You need to know how it is applied because it informs how you provide information for the user. The learning environment, which is very key. The learning environment, sometimes we do not have control. It changes, and then like COVID, UPSA applied for full-scale online programs. GTEC says no, you can't do it. Back and forth. They brought experts. They want to see this, they want to see that. In fact, some of the accreditation, we fought. The meeting never came to a conclusive end. Then we departed, then we came back. When COVID came, who said every exam can be written online? GTEC. There was instruction from Jubilee House. And my VC said, what we've been fighting with GTEC to do, the president has issued an order to make it happen without any, condition. So learning environment can change anytime. And some we orchestrate, some naturally. If you look at our students these days, in my days at KNUST, we were almost like a primary school. Why? We went to lecture, I think, 7:45, and by 2, we have closed. 2 o'clock, there's no lecture. Like primary school. So what do? You can sleep for 1 hour. And after that, you can go and play football, do something, and then in the evening, you go to the library, do our assignments. So that was the cycle. That environment has changed. Completely changed. Now we have morning students, regular students. Sometimes I get confused. Morning, regular students, evening students, weekend students, distance students, sandwich. So you see the environment has changed. And all this is impacting our, apart from social media, mental health issues that our students face, there are other environmental factors. The learning domains, 3 learning domains, the 3 learning domains. So we talk about psychomotor, we talk about the cognitive domain, and we talk about the affective domain. What is the expected learning outcome? Is it for cognitive? Is it for affective? Is it for psychomotor? Because if you understand these things, you know the outcome, and it will inform what kind of information you provide to students. Then learning outcomes. These things you find, learning outcome, learning objective, you find on a course outline. Usually, you know what librarians do? You know where our interest is. If you see a course outline, where is our interest? The reading list. The bottom. From today, I exercise the spirit of being at the bottom. To be at the top. Start with the course description. Come to the learning outcome. Come to the objective. Understand those things. Because it is not only at the bottom that is important. It must start from the top. And once you have that understanding, you'll be able to, hey, Doc, my time is up. I have some 5 minutes more. Okay, so I'll be running that. Okay. So if you take the course outline, don't be interested in the reading list. Start from the top. Some universities have very comprehensive course outline, which shows even weekly activities. What is going to happen there? That's where your interest should be. Because you know when they'll have assignment, you know the areas where the assignment will be. Then you can be providing the relevant information. So learning activities, that's where you have the assignment, case studies, etc. You need to understand. Then learning assessment. students' behavior in terms of exam thing. You know what they look for at the beginning of the semester, in the middle of the semester, getting to the end of the semester when they are writing exams. That's not when you tell them about some new materials that you've got. At that point, they've made up their minds already, and they know exactly what they are looking for. Okay. I'll be running up. Maybe I'm sure you may have some questions or some ideas. I have very senior people here who can answer all my questions, so I'm not afraid. Okay. So I have listed a number of references just to share with you about the role of faculty librarians. Okay. So the embedded librarian, taking the librarian to the people, and then faculty librarians, new breed of librarians, the faculty so there are a number of them, faculty librarians, and it starts from 2012. In fact, there are earlier ones, but I'm looking at the current role of a faculty librarian. So if you go through this list, I'm sure you will get some materials to read to learn more about what faculty librarians or subject expert librarians are doing these days. Thank you very much. So I think I have some 2-3 minutes. Doc, please, am I allowed to question or discussion, or it will be done later?
I think it's fine. We take the questions.
Questions, okay.
So you just
Okay.
do with it
Okay. Okay. So if there are questions or
you just raise your hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Before that, I want to draw your attention to the fact that I'm provost.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Please forgive me for that. Okay. Apologies for that, sir.
Questions, please. Maybe, let me ask. This issue about the responsive use of AI in academia, I don't know your thoughts about. In as much as we are promoting the use of AI, I think there should be some policies to guide the use. Otherwise, it's really going to affect the quality of our students. Because if you can just come and use AI and do all these things and get out, I'm not sure about how much you can learn on your own. So, what, in as much as we know these things have come to stay and we have to embrace and use them, how do we use them responsibly so that it doesn't affect the quality of academic work?
And from experience, it's policy. It's policy. I'll give an example. Traditionally, we all said a student should arrive at the examination room how many minutes? And I was surprised this was related to AI. 30 minutes before the exam, isn't it? And then after 30 minutes, what happens if you are late? Okay, we had to revise that policy. We realized that the first 20 minutes, some few people will be in the examination room. Then 8 to 5 to the last 10 minutes, they will be rushing. What was happening? The students few of them came early to look at the questions. They transmitted the questions through all kinds of devices to their colleagues, use AI to solve the questions. And then in the last 5-10 minutes, they were rushing into the class, to the examination hall. So whilst we were thinking that we needed to get anti-AI, I raised a lot of question marks about anti-AI and anti-similarity. Similarity, yes, it's straightforward, it's very quantitative. But anti-AI, if you understand the algorithm, it's difficult to really tell, depending on the level of understanding of the student. So we realized that whilst we're developing systems to prevent the use of AI for formative assessment, the students were actually using it for what? End of semester, as a where they have to sit in. So they come quickly, few of them come quickly. So when we investigated, realized that they were, because 5 minutes, they've gotten the answers. I was asking myself, how come examination malpractice, the committee is like a queue to a KVIP in my village? Long queue facing the disciplinary committee. So it's policies. And for us to have effective policies, we ourselves must be there and know what it is. Because some of the things is difficult to even use the technologies to the anti-AI or the anti-similarity system cannot be effective without policy. So what we did is to have a conference for lecturers to share their experience, and through that we've been able to develop a number of policies that can curb the. In fact, one of the things we can do is also to change the assessment development process. Because if you ask a simple question that an AI can solve, you should expect that your student will use the AI to solve. So the assessment development process must be revised. I am all for alternative assessments, but sometimes if you say these things, it's difficult for GTech to understand. It's difficult for others to understand. Why do you want to do alternative assessments? Don't you think you are rather exposing the students to use more of the AI? Rather, if the assessment items are developed in a way that I tell all our lecturers, if you set a question, throw it into the AI first to see their response. If you can get all the response, it means it's a bad question. If you said you throw, then it gives you everything that you expect. It means that question is not taxing enough for the students. So, but the first thing will be policy. But I would say that everybody must be there to understand it so that we can have effective or combating policies on that. Yes, okay.
Things like people making statements like I'm interested or I like content generated AI. Assisted AI, yes, but not content generated AI. Yes. What's your view on this?
Oh yes, we've actually used assisted with the AI. The problem we're having now is the generative AI because they are able to do things by proxy, but the assisted AI, like learning assisted AI, people with poor learning disabilities, etc. It can help them. Recently, I saw a girl writing WAEC exams who has this movement, and she was using. So they made a case for her to use computer to. There are some people who have they can't type, but they can speak to the computer to generate the content. So those are assisted AI techniques. We've been using them even before the generative. So there is no problem with that. And they are meant for specific purposes. But the generative, the danger of the generative is that it does everything. By just giving one or two commands, and it creates a whole judgment for you. that's it. But the learning assisted, those ones are not problem. In fact, those ones are actually needed to improve learning abilities.
Yeah, I think first of all, I want to add my voice to your concern about the need to develop policies to guide this, and this is very critical. Just on Tuesday, we had colleagues from KNUST visiting research department. Actually, we had a day seminar on the application of AI for writing grant proposals. We've had a discussion for, I think, since the end of last year. We spoke with colleagues whether it was ethical, the ethical dimension of that and all that. And last Tuesday, we decided to invite them. The director of DAPCA Quality Assurance Directorate was there. The chair of our IRB was there. Myself, as the director of research, I was there. And what we're heading to is that the university must be very quick to develop a policy that will guide students and faculty as to the responsible use of that, and then ethical application of that. Because running away, our students are using. In fact, interestingly, when we did the workshop in this library, when we finished the workshop and we're coming out, I saw students using what is this one? Yeah, the one that gives the summary. Cobot, yeah, right in the room there. And these are people who are going to write their theses and assignments and things to us. How do we guide them to be able to use
the tools responsibly. So there were two schools of thought that we should follow what Michigan State University did, that they banned the use, and eventually they realized that students were actually using it. Or do we do like the United Arab Emirates are doing, that is a compulsory orientation for every student as to how to use AI and use it ethically and responsibly. So we are between these two schools of thought, and we have to be quick to guide our students whether they should use or they should not use. And I saw the dean of the School of Graduate Studies here, so and provost for College of Education Studies is here. So I think this is something that we should quickly. I challenge my colleagues that we should, all three of us who were at the meeting or workshop on Tuesday, we are members of the academic board. We should quickly bring it to the attention of the academic board that we need to begin to think about policy, because in the absence of policy, that is when the use is misguided and it can create a lot of issues. But there are huge ethical dimensions, very huge. The assistance, the argument from our colleagues from KUST is that we are in a global space, in the community of practice. We compete for grants, for example. And if some funders will allow the use to generate or fine-tune or even validate your idea, why would you not want to use that so that you also become competitive? So it's a terrain that is really very sleepy, and once we are part of the global space, we need to think quickly how we can. I don't have yes or no answer, but how we can really work around it. And then, but I wanted to ask you a very specific question. From your presentation, I gathered that you are a bit advanced at UPSA with respect to the application of some of these things.
Yes.
Do you have policy that guide that? How is it going?
Yes. Okay.
Are you concerned about something? Is there something you want to share with us?
So we had what we call the AI forum last year, and the essence of the forum is we did a survey. First of all, there was a survey with the students to understand what tools they are using, what they understand, etc. And we presented the survey report in the conference. Then lecturers also shared their experience with their students, etc. So two things that came out is one, guidelines for the policy. To be honest, we don't have a comprehensive policy yet. We just annex the policy on similarity or plagiarism text to say that there should be a certain percentage of AI content, acceptable use percentage of AI content. But from where I sit, I still have questions, but at least it's a start-off point. Then the second thing is development of question items. Development of question items. So these are the two things that emerge as a result of that, meaning that lecturers must understand that based on how you structure the questions, the AI can generate. And we provided guidance. I think we have a guidelines on how to develop assessment items that is difficult to use AI to solve. Yes. So that this is in terms of policy, this is where we are. We are also looking at what other the global community is doing in terms of how they are treating AI. Some faculty said okay, they were some of the things were it was too revolutionized for people. So for example, somebody says that let the student use the AI, but call them to come and justify. The thing is, if you have 150 students, are you going to sit for it to come and justify whether they can apply? Then so realize we can't get one size fits all solution. So the three things we did is provide the guidelines for question development, acceptable use in terms of when you do validation. Then, of course, training faculty members to be able to use, to know what to, etc. So that by just reading even a paragraph, you can tell that this person has used this particular tool. So this is where we are.
Right. I guess we take the last question, or last but one. Hey, Provost.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the AI issue is a national issue, and I believe that we need to take it seriously. It's not even about students, faculty, because I have been organizing seminars for postgraduates, undergraduates, and I'm seeing where we are heading towards. I remember informing the Vice Chancellor that if we don't take action now, we are going to be producing robots instead of students who can make an impact. So I think we need to take it seriously. I've already written a proposal to academic board to see if they can come up with a policy. And even with the policy, it's an issue. You see, even with the policy, how are you going to make sure that the information that the students have come out with is coming from ChatGPT or other generative AI? So I believe that is something that all of us have to take it seriously and fight and make sure that the product that we are churning out are going to make an impact.
AI products.
Thank you.
Okay, so Provost. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. I think the issues you have raised concerning AI, educational, I would say educational environment in the university, they are important. They are very important. And you can't look at one in isolation. You have to look at the whole holistically. Like the director of Drake mentioned, if you are bringing policies on AI, it will have implications on curriculum, on teaching, and on assessment. So I think what the discussion we are having here should start a bigger discussion across the university. It should start a bigger discussion. So whatever you decide here must be communicated to the vice chancellors of the various universities for consideration. If you want questions that will deal with AI, then teaching must support the student, position the student to answer such questions. It means teaching cannot be ordinary. You want questions that will cause the student to draw on experience and then apply things to create new things to support the fact that good learning has happened. You want to do that, you can't teach anyhow. You can't teach just fact. Because teaching must assess what has been taught. So if you are proposing that kind of assessment, then it means you are looking at high-notch, high-quality learning outcomes. And it can't just happen. The teaching must support that. Admission policy. How many students are we putting in the classroom to support such kind of teaching? So you have started an important discussion, but it shouldn't end here. Because you can come up with something nice for the library. If it's not linked to other important units within the university, I don't think we'll see much. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Right. At this juncture, I guess that we have had enough insights on this topic, and I guess it will be appropriate to give our speaker a very rousing applause. Thank you, Dr. Ino. Yes, so according to our program outline, we are supposed to take a snack break, and so we do that shortly, and we would come back. we implore that we, serious with the time. So we allow for some 15 minutes to go out. But just before we all go, please, respectfully, we have in our midst the Dean of School of Graduate Studies here with us, Professor Sarah Dakwa. Prof, thanks for making time to join us. Yes. So quickly, 15 minutes. Let's do that and come back and continue.
I'm scrolling. Man, can I click on scroll?
You don't come back because you have other engagement.
Okay. So the registrar and the provost could be excused. But in that case, let's quickly take our group photograph. Let's quickly take our group photograph, and then we do the snack. Let's all come out and do the group photograph, please.
Thank you.
Please, respectfully, let's come out for the group photograph quickly. Those of us inside, we are waiting for you.
Internet connection.
By this time, there should be some.
Yeah, this year number. This year, man.
So, registrar. Provost. Prof. David. Okay. Prof. Prof. Doku. Prof. Doku.
Prof. Doku, please, you are needed.
Yes. Obi over.
I did a phone to Jack. No, I didn't phone to Jack. Other Jack to Jack. Maybe our grandma phone or Jack be able to know. We'll be a chat. We may be younger. Down. Oh, no. Yeah, no more. I BB as Botazi. And I say, Bluetooth. To switch it to Bluetooth now. Automatic. Bluetooth. Yes. Chinese. Yeah. Major car. Okay. Remember. Worry. Mucho. Overpowered. In your mom, Papa. I was handling you. Yeah, baby, sir. Chow copy good in
Any I want you be what I. And more in it no I 3 painting. You open them. So Bluetooth homes and car. And more than I 3. Oh, we try for you to no, not. I'm making no jazz no for do.
Oh, me, I'm going to go online. Baby, you are. I go. Come here. You get something come on, let's do the operation. Operation DNG.
I don't know my what's it? Yes, back door.
Hey, Toffino. I'm going to go front to the Uncle Ibe. I feel I'm at the operation as DNG.
Everything. Oh, I just love your grace. Put your mercy. And you put your name on me. You put your name on me. What's up, everybody? What's that? I got my victory. Won't call me home. Take to me. Oh, I won't get I got my victory. I got my victory. Won't call me home. When somebody tells you that isn't it too much, when they say that isn't it too much, don't mind them. When they say that isn't it too much, as we praise it too much, as we go for many programs too much, that's all I'm saying. Don't share. Hey, somebody say thank you, Jesus.
Oh yeah, yeah, lawyer, get ready to support. Get the iron support. Get them support. Something big to you now. All that power, yeah. Put up for Kudo. Say we're at. If I could be any more than you're a car. Oh, Kudo, yeah. It's not. Yeah. Say it so slow. You're the way. You're saying no. Oh, say it so slow. You're saying no. Oh, say it so slow. You're the way. You're saying no. Oh, say it so slow.